For 4 brutal years, the notorious ransomware cartel LockBit extorted over 1,700 companies, hospitals, and institutions, encrypting critical data to extract over $100 million in payments. LockBit pioneered the ransomware as a service model, selling its malware to affiliates who then customized attacks. At its peak, LockBit had over 5,000 associates across nearly 100 countries. The group seemed immune to law enforcement interference, hitting enormous companies like Accenture and Boeing, leading analysts to call them the Walmart of ransomware. But in February 2024, LockBit's infrastructure began seizing up following dramatic seizure notices. Announcing an unprecedented global task force had infiltrated their systems to dismantle their extortion operation once and for all. Here's the inside story of Operation Cronos, the cunning international cyber investigation that beat LockBit at their own game. The ambitious covert mission brought together over a dozen national cyber agencies led by the FBI, UK National Crime Agency, Europol, and Interpol. Investigators had silently observed LockBit's operations for over a year, patiently mapping out their technical infrastructure and monitoring admin tools, managing the syndicate's global digital extortion apparatus. The infiltration team tracked Bitcoin payments to unmask ransom brokers, exploited flaws allowing visibility into communications with victims, all while avoiding detection by paranoid cyber gangs wary of encryption's vulnerabilities. Their ends justified the unprecedented means as authorities witnessed LockBit disrupt port operations, hospitals, banks, and critical infrastructure, threatening lives and stability for profits. On February 20, 2024, the task force simultaneously seized control over dozens of LockBit servers and domains across 8 countries, crippling their capacity to launch attacks by turning their own tools against them. Authorities replaced LockBit sites with their own splash screen announcing the dramatic takedown, alongside government seals from participating countries. For cybersecurity experts, the operation signals a turning point for international coordination against thriving digital extortion markets plaguing the 21st century worldwide economy. The infiltration unearthed decryption keys for past ransomware attacks, allowing the task force to assist hundreds of previous victims still struggling to restore their encrypted systems. And the breach leaves affiliates scrambling to rebuild technical infrastructure and recruitment pipelines to fill the power vacuum left by the dominant ransomware brand. However, prosecuting key perpetrators in safe harbor countries like Russia remains extremely unlikely. And the hydra of cybercrime constantly evolves new entities vying to occupy ransomware's lucrative throne. Sustaining progress necessitates addressing the seamless cross-border cybercriminal contracts and cryptocurrency tools, enabling extortion at scale across fluid digital underground ecosystems. While a single successful stand against ransomware offers hope, forestalling the proliferation of malicious encryption as a service demands resolute global cooperation to shift the rules of confrontation with cyber mercenaries. Operation Cronos unveiled avenues for disrupting the ransomware value chain by striking at trusted communications systems. But preventing data hostage-taking ultimately relies on resilient backup protocols across private and public sector networks. The mission continues as defenders must match interconnected extortion schemes with an interwoven fabric of vigilance empowering collective security in the digital age. Ransomware Econ. The unprecedented infiltration succeeded by following Bitcoin trails to expose vulnerabilities created by sanctioned technology dependencies. Investigators uncovered that over 90% of LockBit's infrastructure was hosted on servers located in Russia, yet relied heavily on US storage hardware and software banned under sanctions against exporting cybersecurity tools. Research shows that over 75% of ransomware syndicates use pirated American cyber tools, leaving them vulnerable to exploits from discontinuation of crucial security updates. And Bitcoin payment tracing led the Cronos team to extortion money launderers in the Middle East, providing a financial lifeline. This exposes how ransomware networks themselves remain hostage to geopolitical conflicts, separating a splintered technology ecosystem. Putin's cyber sovereignty initiatives paradoxically introduce asymmetric weaknesses by forcing dependency on black markets filled with compromised shadow technology. The global nature of cybercrime funnels profits into regimes obstructing prosecution of criminals, who then recycle funds into harboring extremist causes. Using cryptocurrency analytics, the task force illuminated once obscured connections uniting ransomware extortion, sanction evading money launderers, and terrorist financing. Exposing these converging illicit financing networks provided essential ammunition to diplomats urging unified actions against countries offering ransomware safe harbor. Dismantling the technical architecture of ransomware groups like LockBit further enables attribution tracing by avoiding tipping off higher value targets for intelligence agencies. This buys time to interdict attack plans before damage gets inflicted. The operation revealed infrastructure vulnerabilities ransomware developers themselves failed to realize. The compromised PHP-based control panel let the Cronos team observe admin credentials and back-end servers located across Europe. Using their vantage point, agents injected surveillance code into Telegram channels and forum sites to monitor new victims, Bitcoin payments, wallet information, and data exfiltration tools like the Stealthily malware LockBit used. This subversion of trusted communication systems fueled chaos as administrators desperately warned affiliates of possible monitoring, alongside the public embarrassment of their flagship sites getting hijacked. The lasting psychological impact across the loosely organized cybercrime community suffers from diminished faith in the integrity of identity masking protections against state-level hackers. Overall, the successful breach of LockBit's operational security peeled back complex, interconnected networks, bridging ransomware execution, payment infrastructure, and political cover. Exposing these convergent pathways offers a roadmap towards undermining the ransomware economy's entire risk-reward structure through more coordinated disruption operations. Sustained disruption of ransomware supply chains hinges on instituting resilient backups, best practice configurations, monitoring for exploitation attempts, and further strengthening information sharing channels across borders. While cybercrime constantly evolves, the operation provides grounds for optimism that collective global actions can complicate extortionist domains enough to discourage outright parasitic business models. But preventing data hostage-taking ultimately relies on interwoven vigilance, empowering security in the digital age.